Hey, what's happening, man? What's happening with it? Just give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Sorry about it. 1 second, guys. Come on in, please. Smash a like while you're here. And I'll kind of get into some stuff here. If you just give me a second here. I'm starting it early. You know, people say, "Come on in, come on in." That's all I'm doing. Actually, I'm trying to do two things at once. But you can come on in because the truth about it is, last night I went live and how about, so Candus doesn't want me telling you guys what I told you, and I have receipts on it. Of course I do. I have a lot of receipts. I have a lot, and I'm not going to play these games. I'm not going to play these games at all. Not at all. It's just not going to go down with White Boy. It's just not going to happen. But yeah, I went live last night, and I told you guys about how Candus just blatantly moved in with my old moderator that all of a sudden died. I have questions, and I think there's red flags to talk about. I have questions, and I think there's red flags that need to be talked about. But as I was kind of airing all that out last night, well, wouldn't you know, somebody requested that my live get taken down. Well, wouldn't you know? Well, wouldn't you know, actually? Well, wouldn't you know? What did I say in my live that was so bad? What did I say? It was just the truth. It was just the truth. And yeah, somebody wants my live taken down. It's a shame. Didn't say it. I don't hide from the truth, and I never dirty delete. People should know that. It's wild though how people want my live down, request it to come down. You don't want the truth out there, but the truth of the matter is exactly what I said last night. It's wild that you're mad that the man comes on my panel and in all your behavior, and it's just this, and the whole thing with Fred, it is disgusting. But you know, there's a lot of questions to that. There's a lot of questions to what really went down with Deedee. No, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but it does look suspicious if I mean, this is true crime after all. It is all it's all very vindictive behavior. It's all very vindictive behavior. You're having the guy who, remember when that nerd was live and he had the antifreeze? He was like crying about how he couldn't go to jail. Like, this is your hitters. This is who you think people, I mean, this is all childish. None of this has nothing to do with Summer. But Candus, you have to understand, your behavior is, there's a light shining directly on it. And a little fight with Don, or whatever, look, whatever you guys' fight is, it's none of my problem. None of this is none of my business. But when you involve me in it, and you involve me with your vindictiveness, then I'm going to air it out. I'm going to start to tell my subscribers, hey, look, there's behavior that we can look at. The world doesn't really care about, the world cares about Summer. Let's get that right. The world doesn't care about a fight between Don and Candus. But the vindictiveness that you're showing, and the behavior that you are showing, it's not for me to pursue anybody. It's right out in the air and right out in the open for everybody to look at and judge and see for themselves. You know, the way that you're burning people who, you know, stood behind you and supported you, This is nothing that I have to convince anybody about. People can have their own brains, their own conclusions, but the addictiveness in your behavior is weird. It's weird. It's very weird. Actually, notes. I took some notes. But before we get there, why did you ask Don for me to take the video down? I'm not taking it down. And matter of fact, what if you didn't realize, I doubled down and I'm doing this one now. So if you asked for this one to get taken down, I'll do 3 more. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. But I made some notes, people, because I could show receipts all day. You guys know that's what I do. Candus is not thinking this one through. I made a post last night after my live and said I really hate to do it, but boy, I could pull receipts. And boy, could I. And boy, could I. And maybe I just will. But continuing last night, there's red flags everywhere. And just to be clear before I read my notes, don't be leaving comments with Don and Candus. This has nothing to do with Don. Don he went to church today. Don was just on my panel talking about Summer Well. I don't want to read in my comments anything about Don. Don is not moving in with somebody. You guys don't even know the half of it. You don't even know the half of it. There's red flags. You didn't do any life-saving techniques to help Deedee. You didn't do any life-saving techniques to help Deedee. I would have done CPR. I would have done something. She called Fred to tell him she needs to go to the ER right now. You should have called 911 as soon as she hung up with him, as that would have got there ASAP to be able to work on her. You didn't do that, though. You didn't do that, though. It doesn't matter who you are if you're an adult and you would still try to do CPR or chest compressions. Even if you do not have any idea, you should still try to do it and call 911. The fact that, let's talk about this death certificate. Why is it taking so long? If you do not have any idea, you should still try to do it and call 911. Let's talk about this death certificate. Why is it taking... I must have hit the clip button. It'll make a clip out of your live. Give me a second, comments. Let me just get through this. But you know, before you have been throwing it in Don's face that, you know, you're living with Fred. I must have hit the clip button. It'll make a clip out of your live. Let me just get through this. It's not on Bluetooth. But you know, before you... There's no sound whatever? It's not on Bluetooth. You know, before... It's not on Bluetooth. Who is Fred? Fred is Deedee's husband. I don't understand how this is so hard. Yo. Yeah, I'm live on my phone. I can't answer that. I can't, Can you hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. I have no idea why it's on Bluetooth. It's not on Bluetooth. I just looked. Put a 1 if you could hear me. It's okay, Shay. I'm not trying to be a dick to you, but here's the thing. I'm not talking about Fred Hill. What I'm talking about is this. keep the ones coming. I'm going to look down. Keep the ones coming, okay? I just want to know if you can hear me. I'm not talking about Fred Hill, okay? It's aggravating when people can't keep up. It really is, right? And it's no shade. Thank you, actually. Thank you. Because I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to a lot of people. I'm not talking about Fred Hill. Fred is Deedee's husband, okay? When Don and Candus get into a fight, and I'm trying to get there, but I hate having to go back, but it's okay. We'll do it. Don and Candus get into a fight. Whenever they have gotten into a fight, Candus always would leave the house and go to my moderator, Deedee's house. Deedee's husband, his name is Fred. Deedee just up and dies. Deedee is just up and dies one day, and I'm trying to get there to give you some insight, some behind the scenes shit. But Deedee up and dies one day. Candus just shacks up with the guy. Like, there's no grieving process. There's nothing. This should be red flags, people. That's not normal. That is not normal for, and you don't even know the half of it. It's not normal. There's no grieving on either end. On either end. If my old lady dies, man, I gotta grieve and shit. I don't know what the hell would happen if that ever happened, and God forbid, but it would take like years or something. I don't even want to talk about it. But just to have, I mean, for fuck's sake, she's already there. It's not like she's got to move in. But people, Deedee was in the hospital, struggling, and Candus was on the phone, like making Fred leave the hospital to come get the lady. And Deedee's like, and when I have receipts, that was my moderator, a good friend of Noel. I could bust out some fucking receipts. You don't play these games, Candus. You do not want to go down this road with me. I promise you that. I promise you will look retarded. But all this is happening, people. All this is happening. And then, finally, she's like, oh yeah, well, I'm just going to stay here. You know, Fred has 2 houses. No. Deedee's family had 2 houses. He inherited that. And you're just claiming it somehow. All this is fishy. All this is weird. This is white trash. This is not normal behavior. And you get mad and request my live to come down. Why? Because I'm telling the truth. I don't play those games. I don't play that shit. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to have some mind. What you're not going to do is go in all these chat stuff and talk about everything but Summer. And then get mad at Don because he comes on a panel to answer questions about Summer. And you get so mad and vindictive that you send the antifreeze rapist to threaten the guy. It's not going to happen, Candus. You're not going to have all this control. You're not going to play these games. I'm going to give Don a microphone and debunk and show the people whose behavior is really weird. Because it's flagrantly yours. It's flagrantly yours. But yeah, Fred is Deedee's husband. It's not Fred Hill. That's not who I'm talking about. Before she up and just says, oh yeah, there's 2 houses that Fred had. No, Fred never had 2 houses. Deedee had 2 houses. I'm starting to think, y'all. She keeps telling Don, right? Oh, I'm going to come home because, you know, it is expensive. It's like it's like 10 hours one way from A to B. So the lie was, oh, I'm going to come home when we get the death certificate. As she's driving Deedee's car around town and doing all these weird yard sales and shit, selling junk shit. The guy legit doesn't have any gas money. Deedee had the bread. So the lie was I can't drop off Candus until I get the death certificate, because we have to bring the death certificate to the house in Tennessee. They're in Georgia right now. Come on, guys, this is easy. Remember a couple of lives ago, Ziggy was telling you guys Candus was living with rap, and I'm like, this is all fraudulent lies. There's no living with rap. She's one place and one place only with my moderator, Deedee, that she always goes to. You can't mix up these weirdos into this live over here. It's just not gonna. There's only one. You can't mix lies with truth, people. You can't mix lies with truth. So I've been debunking that stuff. I've been telling you this is all fraudulent, this is all fake. And this is not even shade towards Ziggy or whatever. It's ridiculous at this point. But when we get the death certificate, I'm going to come home. And then 1 week goes by, and 2 weeks goes by. People, how long does it take for a death certificate to come out? Man, my brother overdosed. I needed one myself for work. It took 2 days to get it, people. 2 days to get it. I had to give it to my work because I needed something called bereavement pay, because I actually was grieving. And sad that my brother passed. What I didn't do is move his girlfriend in and start porking her. That's not what I did. I was sad, and I needed time off work to grieve. So my work gave me bereavement pay, grief time, but I had to prove it. It didn't take weeks to get this death certificate, is what they're claiming. That's when Fred's supposed to drop her off. That was always lies. And now she comes out and says, oh yeah, well, I'm just moved in. Like, that is weird, people. I'll say it one more time for the people in the back. There's an argument between Don and Candus. Candus does what Candus always does and leaves with Deedee. If you don't know who Deedee is, I was in Tennessee. There's pictures and shit. You can go to, matter of fact, Diamond's Creations channel, and on her thumbnail, you can see a picture of Deedee. Or I'll post a picture later or something. But Candus does what Candus does. She leaves and goes with Deedee. All of a sudden, Deedee's dead. Candus has been lying because I'm gonna keep it real. Candus and Don, they fight a lot and stuff like that. Hey, if we look at the stats, if we look at the data, the odds of people staying together once a missing child case is ongoing is very, very low. I literally think it's 1%. Neither here nor there. Candus leaves, like she always does, goes with Deedee and Fred, and now she just lives there. People, that is weird, and there's red flags there. Candus doesn't try to do no CPR. Okay, I already told you that before she died. Can I see some ones? It is weird. So the ones are working. I can see the comments. Okay, thank you. Before she died, another time, Deedee's in the hospital. Fred is in the hospital with Deedee. Candus wants to leave now. And I will say, God bless the dead. I love Deedee. She did enable Candus a little bit. But she would speak up to a lot of people who supported Candus. That's all I'll say. So I'm sure I'm going to have to yank it out anyhow. But the nerve of Candus to demand this woman to make her husband go get Candus as she is in the hospital already. But why so long for this death certificate? Why? And are you going to post it? Are we going to see what happened? But she literally asked Don to ask me to take my live down last night. Absolutely no. No, you got another one. You got this one. And if you bother him again, I will continue to give him a microphone through all these childish games that, and your vindictive behavior. I will continue to be a voice and give him a microphone. Because Don has never lied to me. I don't care what anybody else says on the internet. He's never lied to me. He's never showed me no fucking weird behavior like this. And I'm not going to let you use these weirdo YouTubers. It's just not going to happen, man. It's not. There's a big monkey wrench in its white boy. A huge monkey wrench in its white boy. But I have some notes. It doesn't matter who you are. Any adult would try to do CPR chest compressions, even if you don't have any idea how to do them, while you're trying to call 911. Candus was the only one there when Deedee died. The fact that the initial autopsy came back inconclusive raises massive red flags. And she better pray that tissue samples come back from the lab negative for foul play, because that will look really bad for you and Fred and whatever properties or whatever you're trying to shove in Don's face, which you know, I don't know what type of games you're playing, but let me just remind you of something. You have Cher, who has sent the man her ass cheeks. You have Prayer Garden, who tried to move in and gobble him up. Don is like a Fabio around this motherfucker. I can just do a live for YouTube. Who wants to date Don? I guarantee we can get him. I guarantee we can hook him up. But you want to, you know, any which way you want to do this, I'll be having a microphone, having his back, helping him. Because you want to play these vindictive, nasty, evil games. This is white trash as it gets. You didn't even grieve. That is not what a friend does. That is not what a friend does. That is disgusting behavior on both ends. What kind of respect do you have for your wife? Your dead wife. What kind of respect do you have for your best friend? This is not funny. It's all stupid. It's all stupid. It's all childish. It's all vindictive. This has nothing to do with Summer. And that shows a lot. People can take this very exact situation, and if we can see vindictive behavior, right, we start to see and think other things. If the test comes back proving something was done to cause Deedee passing away, it'll look like her and Fred planned something. It's awful fishy how his wife passed away, and now he's letting Candus stay with him. We've seen things like this happen many times before in other cases. I hope that you do post those things, but no, I'm not going to take my videos down because you don't like it. I'm not going to take my videos down because you don't want to hear the truth. No, the fact of the matter is exactly everything that I've said. And there's not going to be any of these little stupid YouTubers to debunk anything that I can say because I have real receipts. You don't want to play this game with me. That I can fucking promise. So you're not putting down on nobody. You need to go on everyone's live and start talking about Summer. That's what you should have been right on panel with Don last night, 10 toes down, yelling from the top of that mountain about your missing girl. You should be thanking me, is what you should be doing, for keeping her name out there. But no, not Candus. Not Candus. You're not the victim. People can see, right? You can try to turn this around and make Don the bad man, but that would be so narcissistic. that you try to convince tens of thousands of people, right? No, not me. Look over there. And that is vindictive behavior that people can take off a silly situation that you are creating and apply it to another situation. That's right. Benny Keys is in here. Not a problem. Not a problem. I can ask him, and he could easily debunk this lie. She also claimed, Benny Keys, if you're in here, that me and you were conspiring in all this nonsense, right? That's what she claimed. That's what she actually told Don. Like, that's wild. She did that because I made a video, and the video was titled Benny Keys Apologized to Me. Either that one or the one that I said Benny's at a whatever the hell. One of the two videos that I made. You're not allowed to make a narrative that I'm conspiring. You're not allowed to change reality, because it's simple for me to be like, oh, Benny's in here. Well, did we conspire? And then he can answer. It's just that easy. You're not going to do these games. You're not. And you're not going to demand I take nothing down, because I'm not. And what you should do is be quiet and pray to whatever Lord that you believe in, that I don't start yanking receipts out. That's all you should do. I can't put the comments on the screen, guys. I'm not on StreamYards. I think so too, Coupon Mama. I'm not an expert, guys. I don't know how long. Listen, if you want to keep it real, I'm sure death certificates take all types of different time frames and timelines to come out with. Did I get one in 2 days for my brother? Yes, but my brother overdosed, I don't know how possibly, what can a doctor have to do there? Prove that, probably a urine test or a blood test to get the drug amount of his the drugs that were in his blood, and obviously oxygen stopped going to his brain, and he died. So it's not hard to prove that, but it is kind of fishy how this thing's taken so long. But again, that could be a lie, because you have to remember the lie was, oh, I'm going to come home. Fred doesn't have gas. We have to sell some shit until we get some gas money. And then Fred's going to take me when he goes to the property that he just inherited from Deedee in Tennessee, in Gatlinburg. Then he'll swing by and drop me off. That's what both her and Fred were telling him. But now Candus is saying, no, we're together and I moved in. So it was all a lie, and they could have the death certificate. I don't know. All I can tell you is what was said, right? So they could very well have the death certificate, but then again, I don't know. But it is fishy that she was with, and I'm not saying that anybody did anything. The vindictive behavior to not give you in a shining light. It doesn't make you look good. Matter of fact, when anyone ever is being vindictive, it doesn't make them appeasing. It doesn't make them look like a good person. It doesn't make them look like you want to get behind that. It makes you look evil. Evil. It doesn't take a genius to see that once you get into a fight with Don, you link up with the shittiest of shitty YouTubers, and you think like you're going to do some attacking. Like, that shit's not going down like that. I'm going to give dude a microphone and clown all those weenie boys. It's just, the dude was just crying about drinking antifreeze. That's how scared he was to go to jail. And he's on parole. I hate that it's Sunday because I can't call a parole officer today. And Candus, do you think I'm not going to call a this parole officer? Ask yourself that. Like, how is this a good idea? Stop it. Actually, you can do whatever you want. Thank you. Thank you, Susan Bright. Says this live and last night's live is about the true Candus Wells. Well, all I can say is Candus definitely wanted that live down. She requested it. Isn't that comical? She wants to control Don. She wants to be able to dictate everything that man can do. And we have receipts on it now, Candus, but you'll play like it's the other way around. A scared woman doesn't break down a door to attack a man she is afraid of. It doesn't go down like that. It doesn't go down like that. That is not the truth. That is not what women do when they're in that situation. You think that you have all the sense. When I'm looking at this exact situation, it makes me think, Candus, when I see this behavior of what you're doing to Don, when I see like the light bulbs going and the engine running up here, and you cannot run this 1980s game on Whiteboy, I will not allow you to run 1980 game on me. No, I see through all this, miles ahead of you. But when I see this happening, I have to apply it, or at least think about other situations and apply it to other situations. And let's talk about it. Like your missing daughter. What if this engine was running? I don't know, man. I don't know. I can just perceive what you show, and it's ugly. It is white trash and ugly. But maybe you'll play cleanup here and try to utilize these, let's just keep it real, these retard YouTubers and have them try to clean this all up in a good light for you. No, man. You cannot convince tens of thousands of people that they're retarded. It's not going to work like that. It's just not going to work like that. Disturbing to say the least, KCK says. Couldn't agree with you more. It's time to say it, white boy. Hey, I'm letting it out. What I don't like. You have no idea, Candus. There's people. You have no idea what type of receipts. I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it, but I guess I'll put them out. But you're not gonna do all these type of games, man. I'm just not going to allow it. You're not gonna shut me up. I know what you're gonna try to do though, and I want everybody watching this, despite if you like my channel or you don't like my channel, that's okay. It's not about me, but please pay attention. She's gonna try to push Don away from me, from way over there in the next man's house, and we can't have that, y'all. We can't have that. We can't have that. But that's what a narcissist is gonna do. She's already. Could you imagine bragging? Yep. Susan, that's 100% true. But yeah, man, I just wanted to come on here and say that I'm not going to be silent. I just hope she gets her act together. It's, this is all This is all like very stupid, immature behavior, man. And I don't know what to think of it. I don't know what to think of it. Red flags for sure, but you know, you're not gonna do these games, man. I don't dirty delete. That's been one of my mottos on this channel. I don't do that. I don't. I'll apologize to somebody if I'm wrong. No problem. I don't have enough ego for that. But what I put on my channel is I don't dirty delete, because when you dirty delete, what that symbolizes is, well, what it's supposed to mean in YouTube land is like you did some type of lies or grifts or shenanigans and or some gaslighting, and then you wanted to like tell your audience real fast and then delete it so nobody can call it out, right? That's not, no, this is truth, and I'm not going to erase any truth. I will not erase truth. So this is not any of that. So I can't not let it go. I just don't know what has gotten into that lady, but you know, it is what it is. You know, it is what it is, and people will figure it out, man. That's for sure. People ain't stupid, and they'll get to the bottom of it. But I just wanted to let y'all know I'm not going to delete anything, and please don't involve me in your bullshit, man. For sure. But watch what I say. That wedge is coming. That wedge is coming. All right, y'all. That's it. I really didn't want to go live. Noel got me a new flag that I'm about to hang up. A big old Patriot flag. I love it. So that's what I'm doing on this Sunday. And you know, I just wanted to update people. And it's all very disturbing. It's all very disturbing. I knew that was my moderator. Like I physically know all these people. You know, I know Don and Candus for a long time. I've met Deedee and Fred. I've been around them for some time when I was up there. And I just can't really believe it. It's disappointing. It's I don't know what to say. You know, people always have their opinions about Don, and that's fine. I'm not here to convince or persuade anybody of anything. Here's what I'll say about Don Wells. He's a patient man. If I was Don Wells, I would long be in prison. A long time ago, I would have went to prison. First, all these people, all these weirdos playing with my family on the internet, I'd have been smashed one. And just many different examples of I don't know how he I don't know how he I don't know where his patience comes from. I really don't. But you know, people see that as well. You know, you can try to plot and play these weird games, but the thing is, you're trying to convince other people, you know, people who agree with you, disagree with you, don't like you, and people will put things together. You know, you're not smarter than everybody, and that's one thing that you don't get about the internet. You don't understand it. You think that you do, but you're not smarter than everybody. I'm not smarter than everybody. So all you can, you know, so you can never try to do that, because it's going to turn right around in your face, man. And but you're all of 40 years old. I'm not going to sit here and tell you life lessons. This is all shit that you should already know. And I'm about to jump off this thing. Disturbing to say the least. I'm not deleting shit. And you know, where's summer? Until the next one.